you guys know that it's all show that Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats oppose Donald Trump. Because here she is signing Trump's NAFTA. Here she is extending the Patriot Act, expanding Trump's spying powers. Here she is signing the biggest military budget in history. And here she is ripping up Medicare for all. That's who Nancy Pelosi is. She is Trump in a pantsuit. Okay? I know is that really, Jimmy? Yeah. Yeah, and I'll debate anybody on it. She's actually worse than Trump, just like Barack Obama was worse than Mitt Romney. Could you imagine if John McCain won the presidency in 2008 and then kicked 5.1 million families out of their house while he made the banks bigger, made Bush's tax cuts permanent, and took us from 2 wars to 7? The left would have been in the street fucking burning shit down. But because Barack Obama did it, nobody said a word. Nobody said a word. Including Bernie Sanders, till this day, won't critique Barack Obama on that. Where is a master legislator now that we need her? We're running out of money here, Speaker Pelosi. What are you doing to help the worker bees to get what we need? Give us something aside from your yapping at Trump. Be the leader. Where's her master legislator? Where's her master? She got none. I say she made sure corporations and oligarchs got trillions without taking care of workers or anyone else's health care during a pandemic. Yes, before addressing health care needs during a deadly pandemic, Speaker Pelosi used all her power to protect oligarchy and screw you. The squad went along. And that's a nice picture. That's a crop photo from when they took the photo together for the Rolling Stone cover. And the reason I bring all this up, just so you know what's going on, the problem is she wants to climb in the party. So she can't cross Nancy Pelosi, which is why she went along with the screwing of America, even though now she pretends she didn't. Because if you weren't going to go along with it, you would have called out the way Nancy Pelosi, A, put the bill together, and B, you would have called for a recorded vote and called her out for that too. That's where you failed. Those were your big sins of omission. And now you're going to rant and rave and tell me how you hate this bill. Little too late. It's disingenuous. It's gaslighting, which, let's be honest, gaslighting is another form of lying. And if you want to see another form of gaslighting, here she is telling you that instead of passing legislation that protects people, she's now going to not pass legislation or stand up or call up her leadership for not protecting people. And now those people who are unprotected, she's going to go do charity for.
You may know, New York 14, my congressional district, is the most heavily impacted district in the country. And this morning
It's the most heavily impacted district in the country from coronavirus, and you passed a bill that didn't do anything for those people? Yeah. You didn't call out your leadership for passing a bill that didn't do anything for those people? Nope. You gave a speech calling out the Republicans, but you didn't call out Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer? You didn't call out that they were the ones who did this? Nope. So now everybody thinks it was just the meanie Republicans, even though it was a 96-0 vote in the Senate and a unanimous vote in the House?
Are heading into the most heavily impacted neighborhood in the country, in our backyard, Corona, Queens. And we're going to be partnering with our local food pantry. I started rolling our campaign donations into food pantry and other support donations a week or two ago. So we're taking the money that you all donated. I cannot thank you enough. And we converted them into meals, and we're going to be dropping them off in Lafrac City this morning. And Corey's with me. Hey, let's do this. As many.
So that's theater. That's theater. That's her pretending to care and help people. When the time came for her to actually do something and help people, she protected her career. Because as Crystal Ball and Sagar and Jetty pointed out, they'll let you, meaning Nancy Pelosi will let you rail on the floor against a bill all you want and call out the Republicans all you want, as long as you don't call out your own leadership and you vote for the bill. And that's what she did. She's now revising history, saying she didn't vote for it or saying she didn't support it.
And it's
which is that's I'm going to challenge the veracity of that, and AOC will never correct me because AOC will never come on this show because she does not want to be exposed. That's why she stopped talking to me about 5 fucking seconds after she used this show to get elected. Steph?
Well, it just, people are constantly saying, oh, but the Hill said this, or somebody saying this. Give me the link,
can
please,
I tell
everybody.
You? Here, I'll tell. Can I? So a lot of people are saying that the Hill. Well, here, we're going to get to it right now.
Okay, great.
So what I said was instead of challenging Speaker Pelosi, this is me speaking as AOC, instead of challenging Speaker Pelosi, I gave a grandstanding speech pointing fingers at Republicans while our own leaders and entire party gave trillions to oligarchs and corporations, cementing inequality for decades. So now I do this instead of real relief. Welcome to D.C. That's what this is. And then Danny Haifong, friend of the show from the Black Agenda Report, says, shameless optics here. Her time would be best served challenging multi-trillion-dollar Wall Street bailouts than delivering meals on donations that will surely dry up when 30% of people have no job or income. He says, supposedly she voted no on the bill. At least that's what Cristobal and Sagar and Jetty said this morning. I've been getting that all day. So here's what I say. Keyword is supposedly. We'll never know how she voted because she did not demand a recorded vote. She did not call out her leadership for that either, which, of course, is the real sin and the real problem here that I am highlighting. This is all theater on her part. So people who keep pointing out that Rising reported that she was voted against it, I don't challenge their reporting. I challenge AOC telling them that because that's Bob. Sure, she told them that, but that's not true. That doesn't make it true. We'll never know how she voted. And the reason why we'll never know is because of her own cowardice. We would have known how she voted had she joined Thomas Massie and called for a recorded vote, but she wouldn't do it. So you can't do the cowardly move. Then do kabuki theater calling out Republicans, but not the Democratic leadership. And then after the fact, claim you didn't support the bill. That's fucking double bullshit. And I'll challenge the veracity. I'm saying AOC voted for this bill 100%. And if she didn't, she needs to come on the show and correct me because she fucking voted for it. I don't care who reports that she didn't. She fucking did. She said she would have voted no after the fact. This is David Dayen. Now, nobody knows more about this inside finance than David Dayen. He wrote an award-winning book on this. So David Dayen says, she said she would have voted no after the fact, which is a bad proxy. You'll see lots of no votes once this goes south. Once people realize what they did, once the country starts getting pissed off for what has happened to them, you're going to see a lot of people saying, I voted no on this, which is exactly why they didn't want a recorded vote. She said she would have voted no after the fact, which is a bad proxy, but because there was no recorded vote, all we have to go on. And she was reasonably critical and is saying no early. That's the best we got. That's the best we got. So we'll never know. And it was up to AOC to make sure we could know, and she didn't. So it's all on her. It's too late to say you didn't support the bill. Too late. Remember that time when Speaker Pelosi promised a $15 an hour? I remember when she promised $15 an hour. Nancy Pelosi, Dems will pass $15 an hour minimum wage if we take power. She didn't do that. So she lied. AOC is also lying when she said she voted against that bill. Let me throw it to my panel.
It's what this delivering food is just it's the male politician rolling up his sleeves.
Yes.
Going to the factory to Sam for the working man while he wrote, it's just signed a bill, sticking it to working people and giving money to the corporations. It's just so fake. And push came to shove. We all asked when she first got in, like, let's see, hold on, give her and she called Pelosi out on Twitter about a year ago. She did some things. We're like, okay, maybe she's gonna, she live tweeted the freshman whatever orientation, showing there's lobbyists and no labor. It's like, oh, wow, okay. But then push comes to shove, man. You want to make your way up the party, and you had to play ball, and here she is. You cannot reform that party from within. It's another example. AOC is a sellout. Omar, the whole squad, they're backing Biden. I don't want to hear from them anymore. I'm just done with the Democratic Party. I don't give a shit. I'm not playing. I'm not getting excited about any of them. And somebody's like, I'm running to primary this Democrat. If I interview them on my show, I'm going to say, oh, great plan. So if you get elected, how long do you think it'll take before you buckle to the powerful?
Can you show me an example of when a progressive politician got elected and they didn't immediately buckle to power? Because I can't think of one.
I can't either. I mean, Bernie used to kind of, but that was when he was an independent. When he wanted to get close to the White House, then there you go. Then he started playing ball. I mean,
he's been playing ball since 1992. So people just don't know that.
Yeah.
But he's had a secret deal with the Democratic Party, and they've lived up to their end, and so has he. Which is why the last 4 years, instead of building an organization outside this two-party system, which is what he said had to be done in 1995. I've showed you that video. Mm-hmm. He said that we have to have a rainbow coalition, and it has to happen outside the Democratic Party. And then when time came for him to do it, he fucking didn't do it. He sheep-herded everybody back into this fucking corporate party that kills progressives, and he didn't really give a shit about it because he's not Ralph Nader. Anything else? Anybody else want to jump in, say anything? And Mike, you want to swing your big cock microphone around, Ron?
Oh, it swings itself around. No, I mean, one takeaway that I've just had from all this is, and I've always tried to be this way, but it's really just so apparent now. I'm just causes over candidates. I have given to several candidates in 2020. I will never do anything like that again for any candidate. No candidate ever is going to get a dime from me. And I wish I could have put all that money into a cause or to an organization. I wish all the money that I gave to Bernie Sanders, that I gave to Tulsi Gabbard, that I gave to Mike Gravel, I wish I would have given that to Fight for the Future or Free Press or an organization like that. And I've learned my lesson big time there. And I won't make that mistake again in the future, ever, for anybody.
Wow, I can't go that far. I think I might get seduced again. But we'll see.
I'm with Ron. I'll never give my money that I never donated to the Democratic Party. I did one time, and that was Barack Obama in 2008, and I phone banked for him, and then he stole my house, and I was like, never again. And I didn't donate to Bernie in 2016. I voted for him, but this time I thought, all right, this is my last shot, my last hope. Maybe Bernie will overwhelm and he'll fight back this time because, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And this is it. So I'm absolutely done with the two-party system. I don't know that electoral politics can ever fix anything. We need a general strike. We need to shut stuff down. We need to make people like Pelosi and Mitch McConnell and the leadership in both parties to be afraid of the 99%. And it's a matter of time. Right now, everyone's like, oh, this COVID thing will probably wrap up soon. I'm sure I'm going to get $1,200 in my unemployment and we'll be fine. But when they can't pay May's rent, they can't pay June's rent, and there's a sheriff knocking on their door for July's rent, that's when people are going to have to wake up and they're going to go, I'm done. And because they've done a great job at keeping everybody divided, distracted, and afraid. And I got to work 3 jobs. I'd love to join your activist rally, but I got to work. That's not going to be the case this summer. This summer, people are going to be out of work. They're going to be hungry, and they will have everything taken away from them. And that's when people are going to wake up. We're already got 30 some restaurants striking in Los Angeles right now today. We got the Amazon strike. When you back people up with nothing, they've got nothing to lose. And the last thing you want is 50 to 100 million people out of work with nothing to lose.
I agree with you. Reality is Trump. Again, it's so crazy. It's so crazy that Bernie cannot meet this moment. It's like it is tailor-made for him. Every one of his ideas is the solution to this problem. Every fucking one of them.
The Green New Deal. Jimmy, he could be saying right now, look how we're mobilizing everybody to solve globally to solve this pandemic. Ford and General Motors are building ventilators. T-shirt companies are now making cloth masks. He could say, and we're going to keep this ball rolling with a Green New Deal. We're going to save, because if the climate keeps collapsing and another pandemic comes and we're not ready, then it's lights out. So this is it. We're bringing back manufacturing to America to prepare for the next pandemic. We're going to be ready. We're going to solar panels. We're going to blah, blah, blah. He could be doing all of it right now. And how are we going to pay for it? The way I just paid for this stimulus plan that actually was $4 trillion for Americans. Everyone's got free health care. I just wiped out your student debt. Everyone would be like, Bernie, 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 you're the guy, you're the guy, you're the guy. And they'd fucking put a fifth head on Mount Rushmore 20 years from now, and it would have Bernie Sanders' bald head, but he doesn't want that.
And right now, anybody who says to Bernie Sanders, how are you going to pay for that, is going to get laughed out of the fucking room. So for him to drop out at this moment is just fucking nuts, man. I mean,
no one's saying, how are we going to pay for it? That stopped 3 weeks ago. That ended. You have it. It's there for you. This is it. The path, the sea just opened up for Bernie Sanders to go, democratic socialism, everybody. I'm your hero. I have the silver bullet. I have the magic wand. Everybody goes to work. We're going to get out of this pandemic. Everyone's going to have a job. We're going to start a UBI. We're going to start a national jobs program. All these factories making ventilators, they're going to start making solar panels. Like, he could just do that, end it, done. No more homelessness, no more poverty, and we save the planet from ultimate climate collapse. But instead, none of us are going to see the year 2050.
Hey, this is the part where I tell you where our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then I would tell you to go join our premium, but nobody has a fucking job. So why don't you just enjoy the video?